Hello, what's up guys, this is Ravindra Kanetkar and I welcome you all to the second part of the series of videos where we are going to create an e-commerce website fully from scratch. So in the previous video we have molded this beautiful website template into our Jinja template tagging method. We have served static files, we have we have set up just our basic project structure, right, in which we will have different types of categories and then we will have different types of products according to that, and the user or the customer can buy the products according to the category, and he will just try to add his products into cart, and after completing his cart he will go into checkout, and this will be the go in one admin and multiple customers type website. This is the basic templates that I have rendered. Now as you can see here, this card was not there actually. The whole website was there. I removed completely up to this portion, that is there was client section, right? So my server is running. There was client section, the hours of support 24/7, this counting, and I liked the most. So I kept this count section as it is, and I have added one card, right? I have added one simple card where this will contain image, and here in place of name there will be the name of the product, and in the category part there will be the category which is specified in that product and the price of that product. And when we click on view more, as soon as we click on view more, the new page will open, which we can say as product description. So the product description will come there, and with images and all that things, and simple add to cart button will there in that product description page. So we can do that thing later on. So I have just added one card, and we will see this card in next videos, but in this particular video we will going to focus on authentication part. So we will going to complete registration, login and logout. Okay, so let's start. Now first thing, we have to create a model inside our models.py file. So we need to store data of that customers in our models, actually in our database. So to do that, I am having core. So let's create one app for that. I am closing all these things. Let's close this server, and I will going to create one special app. So python manage.py start app, and here comes the name of the app. So I am name it as account. So I am naming it as accounts. So it will take time, it takes some time. It will create an accounts app for our e-commerce project. There is accounts app created here, and there is models.py file is also there, but we will write all the models regarding our website in core level models.py file. So we will be able to simplify those models, right? There is a user field, user model, which is actually there when we try to log in. I will show you that thing. So just type python manage.py run server. Just run your server. There is one more thing that you have to do before doing this, that is to remove this red looking message, right? So we need to migrate our database actually. So all the basic database changes that the project has to do with the help of that commands. So we need to type that commands, we need to execute that commands to work our database, to work with database successfully, right? So we need to see that admin panel also in Django. So to do that, just type python manage.py and migrate, right? So migrate, I think spelling is wrong, migrate, right? So it will migrate all the basic authentic auth, that is the keys that has created. So it will migrate all that files. It will set up our database basically. As you can see, okay is also there. So just type python manage.py and make migrations. And after executing this command, we will make sure that there is nothing there. So python manage.py migrate, we will run again. So no migration to apply, so that means everything is fine. And when we tried, we need to create one user. I will show you that thing. So just run python manage.py run server, and you can see that the red looking message is also gone, right? So let's come to new tab, localhost / admin. It will show the default Django admin panel, as you can see here, but it requires username and password. So basically Django has its default super admin status model. So it basically creates a user model, a user database for the admin user, right? So we need to create this username and password. So we need to have access of that super user. So I am closing this terminal, right? So there is command called python manage.py create super user. So create super user is the command, and using that command it will ask for username. So leave blank to use Kanitkar, but I don't want to use that, so I am using Ravindra itself. That's my name, and Ravindra at gmail.com. You can specify anything for now, but make sure to make it more tough password or very complex password in the production part, right? So I am keeping as Ravindra only. It will not going to show up. Password is too similar, I don't care. So why, right? So super user is created successfully. Just run the server again. Okay, so server is running, and write the username here. So Ravindra, and password was also Ravindra. Just login. So it will go into login, and as you can see here, there is users model default created here. So when we click on that users, there is Ravindra, that is the super user that we have created just now. So when we click on that Ravindra, so this user model, or this user what we can say user class, has some different attributes. So username is also there, password is also there, first name, last name, email address, is active, when he is active or inactive, when types of giving permissions to the users, right? So staff status, super user status. So is he a super user or not? So all that things, it is also so last login is also there, and date joined is also there. So this kind of things is actually given in the user model. So what we need to do, we need to extend this user model in our actual project. So for doing this, just write from django.contrib.auth.models, and from here we will import our user model, right? Just save this. Right, now we will create one model which is customer. So customer will be there, so we will name it as customer model, which takes models.model, right? And what we can do here is we will have one user, right, which will have models dot one to one field. Make sure that it is in camel case options, so camel case format, 1 to 1 field with user. That's the model which have just imported just now. So user, which will have null equal to false. So user, I will explain you this in couple of minutes, right? Null will be equal to false, and blank will also be equal to false, right? And on delete, when a user will be deleted, then the account or the model data which is specified to that user in the customer table will also be deleted, right? So we will have models dot cascade. So as soon as we delete the user from the user model, the customer model related to it will also be deleted, right? So this actually makes some easier process. So what extra field? So here comes the extra fields. extra fields will come here, right? So extra fields will come here. And what we need to do, so username, email and password is also already there. So what we need to take extra from customer, we can take their phone number. So phone field will be equal to models dot, we can take it as character field only, and we will simply give its length as equal to 15, right? We can give it as 12 only, we can, so maximum is I think 11, so we can give it as 12 to avoid mistake. So many people can attach plus 91 before their number. So after doing that 10, 11, 12, right, we don't want that plus 91, we will handle that things. So maximum length we can take it as 12, and we will check. So this is phone field. For now we have completed our model, we have taken the phone field, and user model will have different types of attributes including username, email, password. We will also, all that things is contained in the user model, so we don't need to create some special fields for that, right? So we are adding just extra fields for that, right? So just save this. Now for now we don't have to worry about all that things. So instead of div there should be class, so we are creating class, so that's why we are creating models. So we need to include, we need to create class for that. So sorry for my mistake, right? So we have created this thing, now we have to migrate this thing, right? So control C, just close the server, and we will migrate this. So python manage.py migrate, so we need to apply, okay, length, okay. So it has given me error length type. So this is not length, this is max length. So max length is equal to 12, and we don't want this phone field to be blanked, so blank will be equal to false. So this is mandatory, so we have to take phone number from the customer. So this should be blank, should be equal to false. So just save this, now it should definitely run perfectly. So python manage.py migrate, so we have to run python manage.py make migrations. For that, make migrations. So it has created customer table in our database. So just migrate one more thing to make sure every migration is applied successfully, and just run our server. Now we will check if that model is created or not, right? So I think we have created our model, right? But it is not showing in our admin panel. So we need to register our model in that panel, right? So in admin.py file, right, in the admin.py we need to import that model. So from core.models import all, right, we are importing all, and here we will register admin.site.register, and our class name was, model name was customer, right? So now when we refresh this, so core, so customer model is created, and in that customer model when we try to add some customers, so user will be blanked. So we need to create first user for that, and then we can specify this. Now for one super user, or that is us, is created already. So when we select Ravindra, and phone field we can take it as any number for now. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1, right? Save. When we save this, right, so customer object 1 is created. Now instead of writing this customer object 1, if we want to specify name instead of this, so what we can do here is, in the models.py file, just come here, and in the class we will specify we will override that string method which takes self, and return self dot user which has username, right? So it returns the username, and when we refresh this, So Ravindra is there. Okay, so now for the, we have created model, right? So what we need to do here is we need to actually have some that functionality of login, registration, and all that things, right? Logout method, right? Now let's come to that index.html file. Here was the file, and when we see what is there actually, so what do we want actually? We don't want about, services, portfolio, team, contact. So I am going to remove all that things. So where is it about? Okay, so about is here. So we don't want this, and up to contact, right? Contact. So we don't want this. So let's refresh this. It doesn't work, but why? Just save and okay. So home is already there. Now what we want actually, instead of get started, we can keep here get started like this as it was there. It will just come scroll down a bit, and we can add this functionality here only. So it is going to work there. We can keep that thing there only, but instead of doing that, we will add two buttons, right? One for login and one for register. So let's do that. So here was the get started. Just copy this and paste down there. I think paste up, instead it will look good, right? So login, registration, and get started. It will be much simpler. So login will come here and register will come here. Okay, so when we refresh, okay, as you can see here, login, get started, get started. Just save this. I think what we can do here is auto save. I am going to remove this get started. It doesn't look good for now, right? For now we will focus on backend only, right? So login and as soon as we click on login, nothing is happening because we have just copied that thing. So what we can do here, in accounts app, we will create one urls.py file which is not there. As in the previous video, we have created urls for there. So it will take some time for creating the urls. Before that, what we can do here, in the views.py file in the accounts app. So in the accounts app there is views.py file. Open that file and we will create three views. One will be user login. So as soon as the request is what we can say called by the URL, this user login will be activated or executed, right? So we will pass for now. We will not going to write anything for now, right? URL file is created, but we will stick to this. So user register, for registration of user customer, which will take request, and here I am also writing pass for now, and there will be user logout. Okay, here I am also doing pass. You can name this thing as anything, any name as you wish, as you like, but remember, don't give name which is similar to the functions which are there in Django. So user login, user register, and user logout we have created just now. And in the urls.py file, what we can do, just from import that path. So from django.urls import path, right? In that path we will create URL patterns. So URL patterns patterns will be equal to path of login, right? One will be for user login. So user login, and we will import views from here. So from accounts dot views import all, we will import all functions, right? So here will come views dot user login as we have written there, and name will be equal to user login, right? and we will going to do all these things for our register and logout function. So register, here will also come user register, and here will also come register. Similarly, logout and logout, right? So we have created 3 URLs. Now what we need to do, we need to create or write backend or functions logic behind this login, register and logout method. So before doing this, in the urls.py file which is there in our project level files, so in the project level urls.py files, what we have included the core.urls. Now what we need to do, we need to include our what I am specifying accounts slash, and include, I am going to include accounts dot urls in that. So after account slash something something, suppose we will add some local host, suppose. So here will come accounts and slash login or user login or user register. As we jump to this URL, that the method which is there basically attached to it, mapped to it, will be executed, right? So account slash some login register logout will work. Account similarly slash login or slash register will not work, right? So what we are doing here, we are including that accounts.urls, and also we need to specify that app name in installed app section to work, so it will work fine. So in the instead of this core, just add comma and write your account or write your app name. So I am writing it as accounts. Just save this, just close this one, close this urls.py file which is there in project level. So we don't need that for now, and just we need to work upon this functionalities, right? And also before this, we need to create templates for that. Yeah, so let's right click on that and new folder. I am name it as accounts. So accounts folder will there. It will take some time, let him take his time. And instead of or in the accounts folder, we will create 3 files, which is login.html, register.html and logout.html. Only 2 files will be there. And when user logouts, then he will be redirected to the index page, to the home page, right? So just we need to create 2 files only. What we can do in the views.py file, we will import that user model. So from django.contrib.auth.models, import user. So we are importing our user model, and also we need to import our core.models in this. That's why by doing this, we can able to store that data in model, right? So import all. So we will import model. It has given us error, views is not defined. So in the urls.py file, as we have specified this user login, views is also there. Yeah, in accounts.views we have created models. So user login, user register is also there, user logout is also there. Why it is not working? Oh, I think we need to do this from accounts. Just remove this, import views, and just close this one. Now in the user login, we have to created all these things. So before login, we will create user register first, but before writing this, we will create, sorry, let's close this wsgi file, and we will create 2 files, that is in register.html and login.html. So in the templates there is accounts, and in that accounts I will create 2 files. One will be login.html and another will be register.html. We will write basic code for login and register form. So login register form will come there, and as soon as the customer clicks on that submit button, hits on that submit button, if it is register, so it will be registered, that customer will be registered, and if it is login, the user will be logged in and will be redirected to the home page with his dashboard, right? So what we will do here, we will create some basic templates for our login and register page. So in login, I'm just writing HTML. This is basic snippet here. So in login page will be here, and in the body I will just create simple login and registration page. So there will be form. So with action will be equal to post. Action method will be equal to post, and in action we will not going to specify anything for now. Just close this thing. We will specify this thing in couple of minutes. So in the form we will have one input. So this is the login function, right? So input will be one will be for email and second will be for register. So input type equal to email, name will be equal to email, and we will name that ID also equal to email, right? So in that input, now just copy this. I'm going to copy this. Second will be password field, right? So type will be equal to password, email will be equal to password, and I will name that ID also equal to password. So input type, and here we can give that placeholder name also equal to email and password. Just for now we can modify this thing in our actual project, but for the backend also remains same. So we will keep this placeholder as password only, right? So I think that our form is created, and what we need to do here is just I'm going to copy this thing. There will be button for now. So button type will be equal to submit. So this will be the submit button, and as soon as the user clicks on submit, he will be logged in according to its email and password. Okay, so I am copying this login page as completely and just paste this in register.html file page, right? So this will be a register page, and in this page form method will be equal to post only. And what we are going to require here, so input type will be equal to input type we will create for username, right? So text only. So input type text, name will be equal to username, and ID will be also equal to username. So username, email, password, and we can in the this registration form we can do one thing. Just paste this password again, just copy this, and we will going to do for confirm password, right? So confirm password, in type instead of password we can name it as confirm password only. So confirm password, and in the placeholder will be also equal to confirm password. We will going to write confirm password only, and we will have some model field. So input type we can take the type also equal to text in this part. So name will be equal to phone, and phone field we can take it as phone field, and ID will be also equal to phone field, right? So basically we have created the registration form for our new customer, right? Button will be equal to submit. We have done a basic thing right for now. So what we need to do here now, in that index.html file, we need to specify this URLs, right? So in the URLs, where is that URLs? Core URLs. In the account section there is urls.py file, and one is user login, user register, and user logout. And let us give these names in our index.html file when we added that button. Okay, so when user clicks on that particular login and registration button, he will be redirected to that page, right? He will be directed to that page, right? So where is that thing? Yes, login and registration, right? So href, that is its URL, will be equal to Jinja template tagging method. So URL, and here will come user register, sorry, user login will be here, and in the register part there will be user register. Refresh that thing. So as we click on login page, so user login is not there, it is giving us error because we haven't written anything in our views.py file. So let's write that file. So we have created this login and registration page. So let's come to the views.py file. Now what we need to do here is, let's write user register code first. So we will write if request dot method is equal to post. So if that request dot method is post, that means the form is submitted, and we need to handle that form, or we need to write logic to that particular form values. So if that request dot method is equal to this post, so I'm writing pass here for now, and if not, we will render that file. So return render request accounts slash register dot html, right? So what we can do here is return render. Similarly for login we will have the same, if request dot method is equal to post. So if it is equal to post, that means that form is submitted, and I am writing nothing for here, and we will, if not return render, which will take a request and that HTML page. So login dot HTML, and when we refresh this, I think it is reloading. Okay, so when we refresh this, template doesn't exist. So login register login.html is not there. But why? Accounts, in that accounts. Okay, so what problem we have here is, just open, I am going to open this thing in my file explorer. I think in that core folder the accounts folder is created, right? So we don't want that. So in e-commerce, their templates folder, in that core folder this accounts folder is created. Just cut this one and paste here outside the core folder. Okay, now it should definitely work. Just close this one, right, and just reload this, just save this. I'm going to close this one and rerun our server. Just close this thing, and here just write login, and in register just write registers accordingly. So we have written this thing. Just reload this. Okay, so email, password and login, I'm going to make it bigger for you, right? And when we close this and when we click on the register button, so email, password, confirm password, and this thing, I think we haven't written that placeholder value. So instead of in the placeholder username section, just write placeholder will be equal to username, right? So placeholder is also there for this, and here also we will add that placeholder phone number, right? So reload this. I think just save again and reload this. I think it haven't specified that text form in that thing. Sorry for my mistake. Instead of placeholder, I have written placeholder, so that's why the username was not coming there. Let me make it bigger for you. So we have username, email, password, confirm password and phone field in our actual register page. Now we will write this code logic in our views.py file. So when request dot method is equal to post, what we can do here in register form, we have taken username. So username will be equal to request dot method dot post, right? Sorry, request dot post dot get and here will come in the brackets username, the name or ID that we have specified in the register page. Similarly, for email will be equal to request dot post dot get, and email will come here. Similarly, I am doing for all that things. I have created one special video for this. I am going to give that links in all the links in the description, and you can see that I button link also there. So one will be equal to password, request post dot get, and here will come confirm password as we have specified there, right? So and phone field was also there. So phone equal to request dot get, sorry, request dot post dot get, and here will come phone field. So was that phone field? Yes, phone field was there, and we have taken all the data from here. And what we can do here, for just testing purpose, just print all these things. So we will going to print username and email for now, okay, to check whether it is working perfect or not. Before that, we need to add the CSRF token, the security which is added to the forms. So we need to add CSRF token. So similarly in the register page, we also have to include that CSRF token here. Just save this and just try to run. So let's go to our local host, and when we log in, sorry, we have written the code for register. So I'm registering as Ravindra only. Ravindra email will be equal to ravindra at ravindra.com. Password will be also equal to Ravindra. Confirm password will be also equal to I am giving any data. Just click on register. Okay, so request is not defined. I think I have done some mistake. So instead of request, there should be request, right? So request should be there. Okay, so just refresh this and continue. So it has written, it has worked completely fine, right? So it has printed, as you can see here. Let me make it bigger. As you can see here, Ravindra and Ravindra at ravindra.com. So email and username is printed there, right? So email and username is printed there. Now our actual form works completely fine. Now what we need to do, I am just hiding this, commenting this. Now we will check whether this is registration part. We will check first the password is equal to the confirmed password or not. So this will be our first check. So if password is equal to confirm password, right? So this should be same. Then we will do our create user, right? So we will create user equal to user dot objects dot create user. So create user is the method which is there written in that user model. So here will be specifying that username as username, which is this username will be specified here, email will be equal to email, and password will be equal to password, right? And after doing this, what we can do, we will save this user. I think we have done one mistake here. Now what if the username is still there, exists in our database? So we need to handle that thing also. So before doing this, just cut this one or copy this one. I am deleting this. When this is equal to okay, so when password is equal to the confirm password, now we are ready to create our user. But before that, we will check if user dot objects dot filter username will be equal to username, right? So if this object exists, right, if this object exists, then we can give error. So print error, right? We can show the error message to the user. We will show that thing in couple of minutes, but we will create our user first. So if username is equal to the username, that means that the username exists in our database, so use another username, right? So if in this happens, then print error. If that is not correct, so in the else part, what we can do here, we have to check another thing for email also. So email should be unique, right? So email, to handle that email conflict method, we can write if user dot objects dot filter, so objects s, add s to that, and email will be equal to email. If this exists, then we will print error. So we can give some message like email already exists. So email, we can name it as email already exist, right? And we can name here only, so username already exists. For now, we are doing this for now. And if this thing happens successfully, so in the else part of the else if part, right, we will create our object here, right? So user will be equal to user, just copy that thing that we have pasted, just copy this thing from here, and user dot save, hit that user dot save. And after doing that, we will get that data from the customer. So we need to add this phone number in our customer model. So just type customer, and what here we are going to do, so user will be equal to user. So remember, when we have specified our user in the models.py file, so user was there, so user was belonging to the user model. So therefore we have created our user first, and then we will going to specify that user in our customer model. So comma, and here comes phone field, which was there, phone field, and replace it with phone, right? So in the phone we have phone field, right? Let's look that if that variable name is same or not. So phone field is same, and phone field we are going to specify and create this thing. After doing that, just hit data.save, just write data.save. So after doing this, our user will be created successfully. And if it does, then what we can do here, we will actually log in that user, and we will be redirecting that user to the home page, right, to his particular dashboard. So the code for login of user will come here, because we don't want our user or our customer to first register and then have to log in again using the same credentials, right? So after, if we have authenticated everything, so if user is created, then what we can do, we will redirect him after login only. So we will be login that user, right? So code for login will come here. Now what we can do here, we can name it as our user, because user is already here. So our user will be equal to authenticate. Authenticate is a function which takes two parameters, which is username will be equal to username and password will be equal to password, right? So what it does, actually it authenticates the user with username and password, if that, and returns the object or returns the particular user, right? So what we can do, if our user is not none, because if it is not none, then we can do login. So login, which will take request and user. So we will log in that user, and after doing that we will return redirect, right? We will redirect him to the home page. I am going to explain you all this thing in the end of the video again, so you will not going to have some confusions, right? Or if you have that confusions, then please let me know in the comment section below. I will try to give answers of all that questions, right? So just save this, and we can do same this, just copy this, and as we have guessed earlier, in the user login we will have all that things similarly same, right? So what we can do, if request.method equal to post, we have specified here only, we will take username will be equal to request dot post dot get from username, and similarly for email, so email will be equal to request dot post dot get, and email will come here, right? So after doing this, we will do our same. So user will be equal to authenticate ticket, right? So username will be equal to username and password will be equal to password, right? And if it is not none, if user is not none, then we will log in that user. So login, which will take a request and user model, user object, right? And after doing this, we will return him to that home page, right? We will return him to the home page. Now what if this fails? So if password is equal to confirm password, and if we are writing all this thing in our actual data, so what if password is not equal to confirm password? So in the else part, we can specify just close this one, and in this, after doing this, in the else part, we will have, we can do one thing. We will print that error here, right? And we will redirect that user to the register page, right? To the register page. So register page, or else you can do, and similarly after doing this also, if user dot exist, so print a username already exists, so we will return him to the register page itself. And here also we are going to redirect that user to the register page. to enter the data again. So this should work very perfect. And in the user logit, what it will do, it will just take logout, which will take use request, only logout and request, right? And we will be redirecting him to the home page. Right, now we need to import that authenticate login logout functions. So from django.contrib import authenticate login logout. Right, now just reload this thing. It can give us error, I think. Okay, so cannot import authenticate. I think from django.contrib.auth we should import all that things. Now it should definitely work. So try to reload. Okay, so it should work properly. Just continue this. Redirect is not defined. Actually we need to import that redirect method also. So from django.shortcuts import redirect. Just reload that. I think register is not there actually. So instead of doing just we will look at URLs which is there. So register is not there, user register is there. So user register is there. Instead of register, just write user register. Right, so where is that user register? Now what we can do here, we can add another username. So test, so email will be equal to test@gmail.com. password will also equal to test, confirm password also equal to test91, and hit that register button. So it has redirected us to that register method. Right, so login register is also there. We can handle this thing if the user is authenticated. We don't want this login and register button to be viewed by that user, right? So hit that in the login. Let's refresh that thing. So you are authenticated as test. Now what we can do, we will authenticate as admin, super admin, right? As you can see here, the test is created. Our test user customer is created, and user is equal to test. So in the user section we have test created, which don't have that active super status, right? So which is not admin. And in the customer section the test is created. So test customer is created with phone number, this thing. So we can add image of that customer also. So we can just add one-to-one field to the to that particular user, and we can add different types of attributes which is not there in the user model. Now let's check whether logout and login also works perfectly. So now what we can do here in login, in the register page, register.html page, not register.html page, in the index.html page, where is that? Where is the index.html page? In the core. Okay, so in the index.html page, what we want here is, if the user is authenticated, we just want to show him a home page and a logout option, right? So login and register should be hidden. So what we can do here is, we can add that Jinja template tagging method. So if user is authenticated, user dot is authenticated. So is authenticated is a function, special function, which checks the user is logged in or not. If it is logged in, then it will not going to show that thing. So else part will come here. In the else part, what in the if user is authenticated, just copy this, and in this thing we will add that logout option. So logout will come here, and here logout will come here. So logout will come here, and if user is not authenticated, then login and register buttons will be shown, right? And here will come end of if statement. Now when we try to reload this thing, unclose tag, so where is it unclose tab? If user is authenticated, end if, I have specified that end if here. Okay, so logout and home. So if we click on logout, then user will be logged out, and login and register button, we can able to see that thing as it is, because we haven't logged in for now. Okay, when we click on login, we will name it as test, and password was also test, and just log in from here. I think it is asking for email address, so test.gmail.com, and just log in from here. So password is not defined. Actually, what happened, in the views, in the login part, I think username, password, sorry, instead of password, I think I have written that email part. So here will come password, right? Just write input type equal to text, name equal to username, id equal to username, and placeholder equal to email, username, alright, and password is also there. Just save this one and just hit that reload button. Okay, so test and test, right? It has redirected us to the home page. Now what we have done here, we have added authentication, which included login, register and logout functionality. It has taken some time. Actually it has taken more than 1 hour, but actually it was important, right? So in the next video we will going to look at add to cart functionalities, and we will handle all that core level things in the next video, right? So thank you for watching this video, and if you have some doubt, then don't forget to write in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed my channel, do subscribe my channel, and do like this video, guys. Thank you so much.